Vaush meme.
This is okay. This is exactly what I mean right here. Okay. Question for people who agree with Vaush. Imagine you live in a slave-based economic system. You win a lottery which entitles you to 10 slaves. You can use those slaves. If you didn't, somebody else would have, or you could free them. Do you have a moral obligation here? The phrase moral obligation literally is not covered in utilitarianism. Now, you can colloquially say that you could pressure somebody to do that because you would expect that.
I don't understand what he means when he said, where am I? God damn it. Where's Rem? Where's an ethics boy? Aren't you almost necessarily always obligated to do good? But normative frameworks, so like a consequentialist or a deontological framework, just like tells you like the system by which we apply goods. So like a utilitarian would be obligated to do the thing that increases the utility, right? Whereas like a deontologist would be obligated to do the action that is like by virtue of the action morally good or something, right? I thought that's the point of like a normative ethical system. Wouldn't utility be the moral good? Sure, yeah, however you measure it.
Of them, but that's more of a linguistic.
Okay, this is the most lazy like escape of things ever. Okay? People that say obsessed, like when you're some of the largest people in a political space and we cover political shit, yeah, people are going to cover you.
How
you
much
can't
would
just
I have
scream
to donate to get you to play Daisy again?
Like imagine you were like fucking AOC and you were like, "Oh, you're all obsessed with me. You're obsessed. You're obsessed. Stop talking about me. You're obsessed." Like, well, yeah, well, of course. What do you mean? Like, yeah, no shit. We're going to talk about you. Like that's like it's obvious. I mean, it has to be the point, right? If there's no such thing as an obligation or utilitarianism, then how does he know what should be done ever politically? Yeah, it's weird to say we have no moral obligations, but we can only encourage people to do good things. Why would we do anything, or why encourage anybody for any? Like, I don't know, it's just such a weird thing to say. Like, I wonder how far he's thought that through.
Shorthand. If we're talking pure utilitarianism, there's not any such thing as a moral obligation. You do good things.
There is. There's like the moral obligation is to increase the overall amount of utility. That's literally what utilitarianism is. Utilitarianism, or that's my understanding.
So you do bad things. Yes, TJ's got the banger take here. So the answer that you could make here, well, there are two answers here. First of all, and this is just correct in a utilitarian definition right here. It's that if you didn't free them, it would be as morally bad as if another person didn't free them. The same amount of harm would be done. You understand?
Okay.
Because in both cases, the same outcome, blah, 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 blah. However, depending on the conditions of this society, like you could justify an enormous amount of pressure being enacted or being affected on a person in order to pressure.
Is it possible that you can go over Vaush's philosophical system? I'd be interested in hearing your breakdown analysis. I don't honest to God even know. It's like, I can actually, you know what? Actually, I think I do know. So, I think that Vaush uses, I'm going to say deontology. So, like, some actions are just bad in and of themselves when it comes to, like, killing people. Even though he says it's utilitarianism. But then when you get out of, like, these most basic wrong things, like murder, rape, theft, then he switches into utilitarian. And by utilitarian, I mean he says, he's like, it's not really utilitarianism. It's more like this anti-realist, non-cognitivist, moral relativist position where all of a sudden everything is like not anything anymore. I don't know if that made any sense. That's what happens. So, but he says it's all utilitarianism, but it's like two sides where he's got on one end, he's like very deontological. Oh, murder is wrong. Now he'll say it's wrong because it decreases the utility. But then when it comes to like, anything that's not obviously wrong, then it's like, oh, well, you know, you're not obligated to do anything. He even admits rural utilitarianism doesn't support supererogation, but his brain breaks and uses it anyway. Oh, yeah, he even, somebody messaged me, the person that introduced him to that, which is funny, too. The funniest thing that kind of breaks this whole system apart, too, is that, like, utilitarianism isn't even about, like, choosing bad or good or whatever. Like, utilitarianism is supposed to be about maximizing utility. So our obligation is actually to maximize utility. So you do have obligations to do things that would make the overall amount of utility increase. It's the whole point of being utilitarian. So when you're like, oh, should you do something to make this person's life better? It's like, well, you shouldn't do it. It would be nice if you did, but you shouldn't. Oh, okay. So you're like, you're not a utilitarian then. You're like some fucking virtue. Yeah, this is bullshit. I don't know. You're off in some other weird world. Like that's literally not utilitarianism because like there are two actions you could do, right? You could either do nothing or you could help somebody. One of them would increase utility. The other wouldn't. So if you're saying we don't have an obligation to do the thing that increases utility, then you're no longer a utilitarian. You're some other weird shit. I think, or at least that's my understanding. But I don't know, dude. Can we just argue that less people would be socialists and therefore less utility? I don't know. I think it was more Maskoff criticizing Grimes.
They actually defend being a socialist, meaning literally nothing more than a Twitter bio check. Not standards, no practice, all just nothing. Yes. Wait. What? In what universe does the definition of socialism include the actions that you engage in? It's an...
Bro, what is this? AIDS. I think even his own audience, because I've been getting way more emails about like, oh, I used to be a big Vaush fan, and then I watched, and now he's like dumb as fuck. I don't understand, dude. You have to. I think even his own audience realizes like how much brain AIDS this is. It's just like so stupid. Like, yeah, bro, why should you have to do fucking anything if you believe in a thing, bro? It's so fucking stupid, bro. Just like put it in your bio. Like it's like so dumb.
They actually defend being a socialist, meaning literally nothing more than a Twitter bio check. Not standards, no practice, all just nothing. Yes. Wait. What? In what universe does the definition of socialism include the actions that you engage in? It's an idea. It's an ideology that you have about the mode of production. It's an economic ideology. It's not a fucking club. It's not a fucking club. Or has she ever like made an effort to spread socialist agitprop? By the way, has she ever like advocated for any real progressive or socialist politics, or does she just say that she is and then like shuts up about it? It's exclusively a brand for her. It's an aesthetic flourish. It has nothing to do with her actually being gatekept from the ideology. Are you a socialist?
No, I'm not. I'm a captain.
So as somebody who would consider himself a socialist, it seems like the person who should be mad first and foremost, like here is probably myself, right? So I guess I'd have to ask you, why should I be upset? What, like, because people, I've seen this from everyone, like, Destiny Ben Shapiro or whatever, where they're like, I don't care about people making a lot of money and buying big houses, but socialists would. And I'm saying there's a socialist saying, well, I'm not. So should I be offended? Like, make the argument for me to be offended. Oh yeah, dude, this is totally communist. Being super wealthy and being married to the richest fucking dude in the world until you break up after, and then you wear some fucking fashion outfit and have a photographer take photos of you in makeup and hair, reading Marx. Like, yeah, this shit she's wearing probably costs like $10,000. Okay. Yeah, that outfit probably costs more than your guys' cars.
Wait, why does it matter now? Wait, were these two different? Oh, these were two different videos. Wait, why does it care with her? I don't understand. Wait, why? Wait, what is happening?
Steel Manning Vaush for a second. If I'm slamming heroin and I'm an addict, and I still tell you personally to not do heroin as it's very harmful, does my hypocrisy matter? Am I still not speaking the truth?
I said this before. There's a difference between like a personal hypocrisy versus like a contradiction in ideals, which some people will call hypocrisy, but is a little bit different.
There was a socialist saying, well, I'm not. So should I be offended? Like, make the argument for me to be offended. Oh yeah, dude, this is totally communist. Being super wealthy and being married to the richest fucking dude in the world until you break up after, and then you wear some fucking fashion outfit and have a photographer take photos of you in makeup and hair, reading Marx. Like, yeah, this shit she's wearing probably costs like $10,000. Okay. Yeah, that outfit probably costs more than your guys' cars.
Hold on. You can link me a Plato Stanford article on this. I've never heard this definition of utilitarianism at all. I think Vaush believes you have a utilitarian obligation to not reduce utility rather than maximize. I don't know what that means. I've never heard of that from like in a consequentialist framework that like, oh, well, like just, as long as you're not reducing utility, you have no obligation to increase it. I've never heard that before. Maybe that is a thing, but at the end of the day, I don't even know if I care that much in terms of like debating the ins and outs of like of some sort of normative framework. I think that I hate to say this. I was going to say appeal to common sense. I wouldn't do that. But like if we step outside the philosophy debate bro moment for a second, I think we can say it's probably good that we oblige people to do good actions rather than just obliging people to just not do bad actions, right? Like if you're walking by a pool and you see a kid slip in and you can just like walk into the pool and save the kid and you just decide to walk by like, oh, fuck it, let him drown. I think we want to be able to say, now, it's not that he didn't do a good action, right? It's just that he didn't do a good action. We probably want to say like, no, that was actually bad. He did a bad thing, right? By not participating there when he could have saved that child's life. I think that's fair to say. I think we want to be able to do that. Funniest thing is how Vaush talks that you cannot deal with a supererogatory in utilitarianism, but that shit was figured out in the 18th century. Oh, okay. Is your moral system still considered rule utilitarian? I think so. Normatively, I think so. Craft rules to where if everybody like followed a given rule, it maximizes the best of all society. It's like some Rawlsian shit, kind of.